You know, you almost have to hand it to the media. I'm not sure if I were in the same position, having had my cherished beliefs jungled on a cold marble floor for the entire nation to see just 1 month ago, that I'd have the heaving pendulous balls to continue clinging to the same vacuous dogma that had already led me astray, but here we are, 30-ish days into the Trumpocalypse, and it's not MSNBC, it's not ABC, why, it's not even Dan Blather's disinformation discotheque at CBS that can't seem to nut up and fly right. It's CNN, the dog shit du jour, Islamic fucking internment camps.
Donald Trump's tough talk could make a dark moment in history a reality again.
It was because we were Japanese. We had a Japanese ancestry.
That was your crime?
Yes, that was our crime. It took away our freedom, is what it did.
Donald Trump, go away! Racist, sexist, anti-gay!
Let's fucking do this. Media. What am I gonna goddamn do with you apart from continue to not fucking watch? To say the media have learned nothing from the MAGA murder storm that swept through their cloistered fuckwad foundries election night is an affront to the merely ignorant. Whatever your politics, left, right, center, or sideways, we need to come to an agreement about one immutable fact here and now. The media didn't merely get it wrong. They attempted to will their desiccated candidate into office, and they failed, with flying colors. Watch it if you must. I certainly do for my distilled daily dose of schadenfreude, but never fool yourself about what cable news media truly is. Don't believe me? Watch some pre-election clips of The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell.
Now, you may have noticed that I have not yet included Donald Trump in our coverage of the Republican presidential campaign this season, and that is because he is obviously never going to be president. He is obviously never going to be the Republican nominee for president, and he is obviously never going to be a candidate for president.
Yeah, you'd see a tighter grip on reality watching Chris Chan practicing his pronouns in a funhouse mirror. And as baffling as this is going to sound, given everything from Rachel Manjaw to their loopy lean forward byline, if MSNBC is horseshit, CNN this election has been horseshit concentrate. Because post-election, Morning Joe was actually able to confront some hard truths.
You completely ignored the world, the elite cluster that you don't know. You had a complete blind spot, and you wanted to keep it that way. It was much easier for you to stay in Manhattan and say, you know what, they're only voting for Trump because they're racist and bigots. There's no way he can win because they're all just racist and bigots. Well, if you really do believe that, then you believe that 50 million people in America are racist and bigots. And if you really do believe that, then I take pity on you.
CNN, on the other hand, not so fucking much.
I mean, we've talked about everything but race tonight. We've talked about income. We've talked about class. We've talked about region. We haven't talked about race. This was a white lash. This was a white lash against a changing country. It was a white lash against a black president. In part.
For fuck's sake, this is a network ostensibly committed to the principle of reporting news that has on innumerable occasions indulged in both rumor and outright falsehood. Inaccurate reporting, I get. It's a fucking madhouse out there, and the advent of the internet has turned a muddy pool of information fucking opaque. But reporting the hands up, don't shoot Michael Brown mantra as if vetted fact before one iota of forensic evidence had yet been reviewed, forensic evidence which now categorically proves that exchange never took place.
We want you to know that our hearts are out there marching with them. Please tweet us your comments. Poppy Harlow is up next.
I mean, why draw the line there? At least have fun with it. Report a high-noon shillelagh duel between a leprechaun and a Sasquatch in rush hour traffic. Grab the bullshit brass ring, Citizen Kane.
People will think
what I tell them to think.
And let's be real about this. You're not a news anchor. You're not even marginally qualified to rifle the remains of the Sudanese genocide. You're a failed underwear model with more porcelain in your mouth than on your bathroom floor, and if you burst into flame live on air, the resultant nationwide belly laugh would be your lone valuable contribution to this entire election cycle. No wonder you fucks were so keen on foisting the Obama nation on our hapless asses. From his shallow charisma, to his pearly whites, to the fact that he can't say his his own fucking name without a teleprompter fastened to his forebrain. Obama was the correspondent-in-chief, and like any good anchor, right when it seemed clear he'd shit his Armani slacks, he was right there to say, but enough about my Nixonian corruption, here's Al Gore with the weather. Is it any wonder when the British food hit the fan, it was always his subordinates committing seppuku because he was too goddamn busy posing in sunglasses like Sam Jackson in Shaft, or playing putt-putt with Pol Pot? And Fox News is no better, I've said it for years, but I have found myself defending Fox News, at least on the basis that they're the only network slanting their news in that particular direction. Look, I get that it's the blade of grass that bends against the wind that draws all the eyeballs, but that doesn't change that all the other grass is bending in the opposite. For how many years did Jon Stewart and The Daily Show painstakingly construct the fiction that Fox News were the only biased network on the airwaves? How many college-age cunthoods had their voting habits and worldview forever poisoned by what it's now clear was propaganda with a peppering of punchlines? And given that fact, is it any wonder universities have devolved into a hug box for the humanities, dispensing daffodils in lieu of diplomas? Gender studies isn't a degree, it's a poster, and its merits are nearly as fictitious as the media that spawned it. I'm Razor Fist. Godspeed.
Propaganda time, the official line. You're hungry, you get fed. An elastic smile, you must admire their style.
It's not just the political class that increasingly is treated with contempt by the broader public across the West. Actually, the national broadcasters are becoming, and the rest of the media too, are being, I'm afraid, viewed in the same way. You are now on a par with the political class. How about that? It's not a great place to be, is it? I think in terms of immigration, I think you're still, many of you, covering this subject in the way that anyone that dares to raise the issue somehow has malevolent intentions underneath. I think the coverage of radical Islam is another area where you're completely losing touch with vast swathes of your own population. So I do think this industry needs to press the reset button. And finally, I have to say that on Trump, it wasn't just you that was wrong. Everybody was wrong. But I had a very good bet at 5-1, and I've enjoyed 2016, even if you haven't. You have got to change. Otherwise, you'll come back here in 5 years' time, and there'll be fewer of you. Thank you. I was quite polite. I wasn't bad.